All right, this is the point where I'm going to start peppering you with questions, and obviously you've heard these before, but we haven't had a chance to talk with you Premier Guitar, so we're just going to start with the back. First one being the Fool SG. Obviously you had it for a long time. Was there anything that you did to it to make it more your instrument, or even just had to repair, just work out for your playing style or tone that you're chasing?
I didn't do anything to change the basic tone of the instrument, but when I got it, it was in just incredibly horrible shape.
Yeah.
I got it from Jackie Lomax, who had been using it as a lap guitar. It had a wooden bridge on it. Didn't have a conventional bridge. It had a wooden bridge that they just stuck on it. The paint job had been pretty battered up, especially the back, because I think Eric wore like belt buckles sometimes and wore a lot of the paint off the back. The back of the neck down by the head stock was, all of the paint was gone from that. It had been all sweated off over the years, and essentially the wood was almost like balsa wood. It was all porous and eaten through, and shortly after I got the guitar, the headstock snapped off, so I had to have a new headstock made and grafted onto the end of the guitar. And I had the paint job restored, and the other funny thing was that they never put any sort of sealant on the paint job after they did it.
Yeah.
So it was still sort of tacky in a way, you know, bits of it were flaking off, and it had this weird sort of slightly sticky feel to it. As I recall, there was a matching bass that they made for Jack Bruce, but he stopped playing it fairly early on because they had painted the fingerboard as well, and he said it just felt too weird to play. So I had the paint job restored, and then I had it sealed so that it would remain restored.
Yeah.
And then there may have been some missing knobs. There may have been a knob or two that was missing, and we replaced them with just regular knobs. We didn't go to any trouble to find special knobs for it. And then I played it for decades after that. I owned the guitar longer than anyone else had owned it, and played it for longer than anyone else had played it. And then again in the late 80s, when I was in Japan, a Japanese, I guess he was the luthier, but I think he was just more a guy who did finishes. He gave me a replica of it.
I was going to ask if, you know, whether it was that time period, or again, you know, even recently you said that you were out on the road with Utopia with the big stage show, doing the whole kind of discography of your guys' work. I was wondering if you had a replica and kind of use that
I still do have the replica, and we call that one Sunny, and because Sunshine of Your Love.
Yeah.
And that one does not sound the same. It sounds similar, but I believe that they had taken some of the windings off of the original guitar, taking some of the windings off the pickup to give it a sharper sound, off of the bridge pickup. I'm not sure about the neck pickup, but it had a much more piercing sound than a stock instrument had. Which was one difference.
What did you like about the original when it became your guitar and you started using it and you got it fixed up, you got a real bridge on it? What did you like about it? Obviously everyone associates that with the but what did you like about it for the stuff you were doing?
I think quite obviously there was the history of it.
Yeah, very important.
Also, when I first started playing it, in those days, anything that was a Fender style guitar ran out at the 20th fret. You know, you couldn't get any higher than that, or at the 19th fret or something like that, somewhere well short of where you could bend a full 2 octaves on the E. So I used that because I could play the full 2 octaves, you know, and also without any obstruction once you got up there. That was the great thing about those instruments, is the entire neck is accessible, whereas a lot of instruments, as you get towards the top, you've got to reach around the body of the guitar to get to the top frets. So I usually would use it in situations where I might be doing a lot of soloing and stuff like that, playing up near the top of the neck. But there was a period of time when I went completely the opposite direction. There was one Fender guitar that did allow you to choke all the way up to 2 octaves, and that was a Mustang.
Yeah, that's from the 70s.
And I started playing Mustangs both for that reason and because of the strange bridge design allowed you to do ridiculous things with it. And that's what I used when I played the solos on Bat Out of Hell and stuff like that, making all those motorcycle noises and that sort of thing, all because of this guitar, the way it was set up and the fact that it was a shortened scale, which was a problem because I have kind of fat fingers, but you know, it was shortened scale made it hard to play chords up near the top, but it could still solo pretty well.
And that was that black one that you
Yeah, the black one, and we sort of put a conventional switch on it, you know, instead of the little slider switches at the top, got rid of those, put a more conventional switch on it. Not a whole lot of other customization. And because it was such a short scale guitar, you know, if you pushed the tailpiece down like this, the strings just drooped. You know, it just went like that, you know. So you get some ridiculous sounds that you couldn't get with a normal guitar. Ridiculously wide vibrato, you know, wee, 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 you know, that kind of thing. So.